Well, folks, another scandal has exploded involving the Trump administration, and it almost seems like a pattern is forming here, where these Trump officials advocate for one thing, but in their private life, they do something different.
So Harry J. Sisson just exposed two massive national security scandals that perfectly illustrate how Trump's team creates vulnerabilities America can't afford. We've got a DHS official on sugar daddy sites and an AI fake MAGA influencer fooling millions. This reveals systemic threats to our democracy. Let's break this down.
I mean, we had Kristi Noem and the allegations of her extramarital affair and what her husband does in his personal time. That's an entirely different conversation. We had Lori Chavez DeRemer, the former labor secretary, resigning recently over allegations of an affair of her own and harassment.
No one was tapped for Homeland Security despite affair allegations, while Chavez DeRemer's labor nomination collapsed after harassment claims surfaced. These aren't isolated incidents, they represent a pattern where personal vulnerabilities create exploitable security risks. Foreign intelligence services specifically target officials with compromising personal situations.
And let me make something clear. I normally do not care what people do in their private time, in their bedroom. You do you, doesn't affect me, have at it.
Exactly right. This transcends personal morality. When you hold a security clearance, your private life becomes a national security concern because compromising material gives foreign adversaries leverage. Russia's SVR and China's MSS have entire departments dedicated to identifying and exploiting these exact vulnerabilities.
The profile, which was under the name Alessia, said its owner worked for a government agency and offered seductive sophistication. Whatever that means. And that government agency was, of course, the Department of Homeland Security. Not good. And
DHS protects America's borders, critical infrastructure, and coordinates counterterrorism operations. Having someone with financial dependencies and secret relationships in this position creates multiple attack vectors: blackmail, financial manipulation, or honey trap operations by hostile intelligence services.
And this is Julia, who ran this page and has photos of her with Donald Trump and Kristi Noem on her social media profiles. It used the same photo as Varvaro's Instagram account and described Alessia as flirty, fun, and fond of sultry spaces, as well as drawn to a masculine man who's attentive, protective, and quietly playful for mutually beneficial experiences.
Those photos with Trump and Noem make this exponentially worse. She had direct access to the highest levels of government while potentially compromised. This is exactly how foreign intelligence services penetrate administrations, through financially vulnerable officials with premium access.
He has since filed a complaint with the Department of Homeland Security's Office of the Inspector General, exposing the alleged Seeking.com profile.
The Inspector General complaint process is crucial here because it creates an official record and triggers mandatory security reviews. When potential counterintelligence threats surface, proper reporting channels ensure investigations happen, even when leadership might prefer to bury the story.
And once again, if you were doing this and you're just an average American who works a job and this is the lifestyle you want to live and you have a willing participant, have at it. That's, again, just do not care. But when you're working in the federal government, it's an entirely different ballgame, where it genuinely can put the United States at risk, 100%.
Federal employees with security clearances must disclose financial relationships and foreign contacts precisely because of this risk. The SF-86 background investigation specifically asks about financial vulnerabilities because they're prime targets for foreign recruitment. These aren't arbitrary rules, they're hard-learned lessons.
The complaint warned that Varvaro, whose social media profiles feature photos with Trump and Kristi Noem, was under financial stress and alleged that her actions pose a security risk.
Financial stress is counterintelligence red flag number 1. The FBI's most damaging traitors, Robert Hansen, Aldrich Ames, were initially motivated by money problems. Foreign services systematically identify financially stressed officials because desperation makes people compromise national security for cash.
Reached for comment by the Daily Mail, Varvaro denied having a profile and chalked up the allegations to a disgruntled ex. Quote, "We were together in an exclusive relationship. We went on vacations. I don't know what the problem with that is. I did nothing wrong. This is just a mad ex-boyfriend putting crap together."
Even legitimate relationships require disclosure when you hold clearances, especially if they involve financial support or foreign nationals. The security concern isn't the relationship itself, it's the failure to report potential vulnerabilities that creates opportunities for hostile exploitation.
In his Inspector General complaint, Robert wrote that besides vacations, he had bought her Cartier jewelry and expensive handbags, despite not wanting a sugar daddy relationship. He alleged that Varvaro told him previous sugar daddies had paid for her college education and bought her $40,000 worth of jewelry.
Accepting expensive gifts without disclosure violates security clearance requirements and creates multiple compromise scenarios. Those $40,000 in gifts represent either unreported income or undisclosed relationships. Both are massive red flags that should have triggered immediate security reviews.
I mean, the potential security breaches that this opens the United States of America up to is unfathomable. And she's just downplaying this as, oh, you know, it's not true. It's a disgruntled ex, except there are text messages.
Digital evidence makes modern counterintelligence investigations incredibly thorough. Text messages, financial records, and dating profiles create permanent trails that foreign intelligence services can exploit for years. The documented financial dependencies here represent ongoing national security liabilities.
And this also connects to a story that I just saw the other day that is wild.
This connects to a broader pattern. Foreign actors are increasingly using AI and social media manipulation to influence American politics. The fake MAGA woman story shows how easily our information ecosystem can be compromised by amateur operations with basic technology.
It is so obviously AI. I mean, this is so obviously AI, and yet so many people fell for it and made this med student a bunch of money.
The fact that obvious AI manipulation fooled millions demonstrates how vulnerable American political discourse has become. If a medical student in India can achieve this level of influence, imagine what sophisticated state actors with unlimited resources can accomplish through coordinated disinformation campaigns.
The 22-year-old aspiring orthopedic surgeon from northern India got some money from his parents, but he says he spent most of it subsidizing his licensing exams, and he's still saving up to hopefully immigrate to the United States after graduation. So he started searching for ways to make additional money online.
This amateur operation achieving massive reach proves our defenses are inadequate. Russian Internet Research Agency operations and Chinese influence campaigns use these same techniques, but with professional tradecraft, unlimited budgets, and strategic coordination. We're fighting asymmetric warfare with outdated tools.
Why not make an AI-generated girl using Google Gemini's Nano Banana Pro and sell bikini photos of her online?
Consumer AI tools have democratized propaganda capabilities that were once limited to intelligence agencies. Google's Gemini, OpenAI's tools, and deepfake technology mean any motivated actor can now create convincing disinformation campaigns. The barrier to entry has essentially disappeared.
So last January, Sam created Emily Hart, a registered nurse, and Jennifer Lawrence lookalike. On Instagram, they went under this username, Emily Hart Nurse, and Sam started posting photos of her ice fishing, drinking beer, and shooting off a few rounds at the rifle range with emoji-laden captions like, if you want a reason to unfollow, Christ is king, abortion is murder, undocumented immigrants must be deported.
This fake persona perfectly embodies Russian active measures playbook, amplifying existing divisions through emotional hot-button issues. The abortion, immigration, and gun rights messaging wasn't random. It was designed to maximize engagement and deepen political polarization among Americans.
POV, you were assigned intelligent at birth, but you would identify as liberal and a clown emoji. Though Sam has never lived in the United States, he became a student of MAGA ideology.
Foreign governments routinely recruit influence agents through economic incentives rather than ideological conversion. Sam didn't need to believe MAGA ideology, he just needed to profit from it. This financial motivation model makes recruitment scalable and harder to detect.
Every day I'd write something pro-Christian, pro-Second Amendment, pro-life, anti-abortion, anti-woke, and anti-immigration. The grift seemed almost too obvious, but to Sam's astonishment, he says the account blew up.
The success of such obvious manipulation reveals dangerous vulnerabilities in American political psychology. Foreign adversaries study these reactions, testing what messages resonate and how to amplify division. This data becomes intelligence for larger influence operations targeting our elections and institutions.
Every reel I posted was getting 3 million views, 5 million views, 10 million. The
18 million views represents genuine influence over American political discourse. That's larger than most cable news audiences and demonstrates how foreign actors can shape public opinion without traditional media gatekeepers. The reach is what matters for electoral influence.
18 million views. That is insane. And you can see that most of the audience was in the United States, of course, because this is a fake MAGA woman, and 85% of the audience was MAGA.
Precise demographic targeting of 85% MAGA audiences shows sophisticated understanding of American political segmentation. This mirrors techniques used by Russian Internet Research Agency in 2016 and Chinese operations today, finding ideological echo chambers and amplifying extreme positions to increase polarization.
It is insane what's taking place. It is crazy. And I would normally, again, no problem with what you'd want to do in your personal time, not affecting me.
Both stories represent the same fundamental threat. Our democratic institutions are under attack through personal vulnerabilities and information warfare. Compromised officials and manipulated public opinion work together to weaken America's ability to defend itself against foreign adversaries.
When it's coming from people who work in the government, then I have a big problem. Then I have a major problem.
Government officials hold sacred responsibility to protect national security above personal interests. We need stronger vetting, mandatory financial disclosure, and robust defenses against AI disinformation. Democracy requires constant vigilance against those who would exploit our freedoms.
These are just a couple of stories that came out of the MAGA world recently. Please make sure to subscribe down below, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about all of this.
This investigation reveals systemic vulnerabilities that go far beyond individual scandals. Personal compromise and information warfare represent coordinated attacks on democratic institutions. Strong investigative journalism like this is essential for protecting America from foreign manipulation and internal corruption.